Peace, family. This is your girl, Queen of Pentacles, 1111, and I am back with yet another pick a pile reading. In this session, we'll uncover the messages you need to hear right now. They could be insights, guidance, or confirmation meant just for you. Take a moment to breathe deeply, clear your mind, and choose the pile that resonates most. Trust that you're in here for a reason, and let's dive in. All right, my pile ones, this message is for you. These are messages that you need to hear at this moment. It could be from your higher self, it could be from an ancestor, it could be from a spirit guide. It really is from who you resonate with the most. The energies, we'll say the energies because I use it in a general sense. The energies are letting you know, group number one, that they admire your ability to stand up for what you believe in. My group ones are people who believe in right and wrong, who are not ashamed to stand up for what they believe in, regardless of whoever's around them. You don't necessarily care about what other people think about your opinions, especially if you know you're right. My group ones are my researchers, they're my studiers, they're the ones who will always pull out their phone to Google something to make sure that they're correct in their thinking. My group ones are the ones who will listen to podcasts and lectures. You'll take courses just because. My group ones are the thinkers of the reading. Because you are well learned on a lot of subjects and a lot of topics, the good side about that is that you know a little bit about everything, and you can have a conversation with just about anybody that you meet. And on top of that, you just like to learn for the sake of learning. Group number one, you are the types who believe that, ignorance is a choice. It's not an excuse. This is the age of information. You have your phone in the palm of your hand most of the time, and you have information there at your disposal to use whenever and however you choose. Because learning is so important to you and being aware of what's going on around you, you will often find, group number one, that you will come up against a lot of opposition. People will often target you, they won't like you, you'll rub them the wrong way sometimes. It'll even cost you some situations where you are in a relationship, and because you have such strong opinions on a certain topic, it may cost you your relationship. It may even cost you the relationship with some family members, with some good friends. But the point is, group one, that the energies are letting you know that they want you to continue on that path. Don't be discouraged by the fact that sometimes it hurts when people shun you because you have such strong values and such strong ideas. On a side note, I think some of the group ones as well could be considered often as conspiracy theorists. I believe that my group ones have very strong opinions on some very controversial ideas, and a lot of people, especially the people who are used to the mundane, who don't like to rock the boat, to people who just would prefer to kind of take the middle path and ride the fence. Someone who is extremely opinionated and extremely knowledgeable and very certain about the fact that they're knowledgeable, very self-assured when it comes to what they know and what they believe in and the difference between right and wrong. For the fence riders, that could be sometimes very offensive. It can come off as combative. It could come off as obnoxious. The messages that are coming through to you today are letting you know that you've chosen this path for a reason, Group 1. Walking in your truth and your purpose is extremely important to you. The energies are asking you to continue on this path. Don't be discouraged. Don't be fearful. And although the loss of certain relationships or friendships or certain opportunities may cause you heartache, it may hurt. It definitely may hurt, and it may put you in an uncomfortable position more often than not. The energies want you to know that you are on the right side of things. Your intentions are good. Your intentions are pure. But for those around you who are not used to speaking up as readily and as courageously as you do, it can seem very intimidating. A lot of my Group 1s may even be the black sheep of the family. You may stand up for other people quite often, Group 1, and especially against bullies. You like to stand up for the underdog a lot of the time. This can be a very tumultuous path that you've chosen, Group number 1. It's not often a very easy path, that's for sure. It can be a lonely path as well, because sometimes people are intimidated by you, Group number 1, because you are so self-assured. As crazy as it sounds, a lot of the time in this world, when someone is confident in who they are and what they're about and what they believe, that sometimes scares people away. And the only reason that scares them away is because they are not confident in who they are and what they believe and where they stand. So continue to be you. Don't change, regardless of how difficult it may seem. Eventually that will blow over, and the people who can keep up, the people who are on your same wavelength, will eventually either stick around, they will catch up to you, or they will come towards you. So it may feel somewhat lonely right now, but the energies are letting you know that this is not gonna last forever. Eventually, if you stay true to yourself and you are consistent with speaking up for yourself and those you care about, eventually you will be recognized in a more positive light. Your ability to stand by what is right and what is wrong in this world will be acknowledged, and you will no longer be shunned. So your time is coming, Group 1, where things will run a lot more smoothly for you, and you won't feel so ostracized or isolated merely because of what you believe or how you choose to live your life based on what you believe. Okay, so we're going to look at some of these oracle cards here. We have take responsibility for your actions, abundance is your birthright, and we have you are here for a reason, which is in reverse. I'm going to get to the other two oracle cards after. So we're just looking here. This is pretty much piggybacking on what I was just telling you, to take responsibility for your actions. Okay, something I would like to caution Group number 1 on is to be mindful of how you deliver your messages. If you are in a situation, for example, when that you are at a family gathering and a heated topic is presented, like a controversial topic, and let's say you are well versed on this topic and you have very strong opinions on this topic, although most of the time you are right, most of the time you are correct, Group number 1, in believing what you believe because you've done the research behind it, the way you deliver your message is of the utmost importance, because it can mean the difference between you alienating yourself from the group and you welcoming them into your circle, letting them understand and overstand and understand where you're coming from, letting them see your point of view. You will get to the point where they will trust you enough and feel comfortable enough and safe enough with you that they will soon start to engage with you and ask your opinions on certain topics, maybe even follow what you're doing to a certain degree. So we have to be careful sometimes of, not scaring other people away, because it's in those times where we're ignorant of something that we feel the most vulnerable. So sometimes other people around you, Group 1, because you can come off as somewhat of an intimidating person, because you are so well educated on a lot of topics, it can chase other people away because they're feeling vulnerable, they're feeling that they are not at your level, and so it can scare scare them away if you are too brash or too rough on them for not knowing. They're asking you, the energies are asking you, group number one, to, instead of sharing your opinions with such fervor and being so adamant on what you think, it's not going to take anything off of you if you could actually see it as planting seeds, so that it kind of changes the intention. So instead of declaring something and being forceful with something, you can kind of gently plant seeds, especially if we're talking about loved ones here, people who you care about and you don't want to lose. You can consider just planting seeds of knowledge into these people's minds. I'm just using a family discussion as an example, but this is in your everyday life. For you to be living in your purpose and walking in your purpose, the goal is to enlighten others on your path. And you're not going to enlighten others by force. You're going to enlighten others with love. So the way you can love the people who you love is by empowering them, by planting seeds of knowledge and confidence within them. That way, you won't alienate them, you won't ostracize them, you won't belittle them, and in turn, you won't feel alienated and ostracized and belittled. So that's part of what the oracle cards are telling you, when they're saying here, take responsibility for your actions. You are an abundant spirit, group number one. I feel like group number ones are capable of just about anything. You're very well balanced. You're creative as well as logical-minded people. You can learn things very well. Some of my group ones may even have things like photographic memories. You may be gifted. You may be psychic or clairvoyant or something like that. There's something extremely special about my group one that sets you apart from everybody else. And for that reason, naturally, your journey is going to be a little more tumultuous than the others. But the point is that you can handle it. It is your purpose for a reason. It is your journey and your path for a reason. So I think a lot of the time, though, my group ones, when people want to stay away from you because you are so staunch in your beliefs, it makes you wonder, like, why am I going through all of this? Like, what is the point in me having such strong opinions, learning so much, being self-aware, being enlightened? I'm trying to help the people around me by sharing this information with them. It makes you feel like you're not walking in your purpose. Sometimes my group ones may feel lost because you sit back and consider the people who you want to be close to you and you want them to come towards you, and they're kind of moving further and further away from you. Group ones, that will balance out, but you have to first be aware of your own actions and how you are adding on to that scenario. Sorry guys, it's really windy. There's a snowstorm going on outside my window, so if you hear the wind, I apologize. That's why I have the background music on. Okay, so we also have the last two oracle cards here. The first one says, wisdom is knowing who to be and what to do in a given situation. My gosh, this is exactly what I was just saying. And it says, virtue is acting on that wisdom. And then you have the next one here says, to stand emotionally open before the world and give of our hearts without fear of hurt or demand of reciprocity. This is the ultimate act of human courage. So group one, like, you are extremely courageous. You are brave, you are bold, you are well learned, you have a plethora of ideas, you go deep, you take a lot of deep dives, you love going down the rabbit holes. But part of that wisdom that you carry with you every day so boldly and so beautifully is finding out how to temper yourself so that you are not hurting others, you're not scaring others, you're not sending others running away from the truth. Because at the end of the day, that's what's most important, spreading the truth and teaching others and allowing others to feel comfortable enough to learn from you, to feel safe enough to grow with you. So group number one, you are my knowledge acquirers. You are the ones who will keep spreading the good word. But like that saying says, you catch more flies with honey, not vinegar. I think that's how it goes. Something along those lines. Group number one, that was your reading. I hope something I said today resonated with you. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Until we see each other again, guys. Bye. All right, my pal twos, this is your reading. We have the King of Swords in reverse, the Page of Cups upright, and the High Priestess in reverse. So my group twos, You definitely have a very wonderful, hopeful, positive outlook on life. I do believe that you are the one who believes that at the end of the day, everything is going to be just fine. Whether you worry about it or you don't worry about it, everything is going to turn out just the way it should. I believe that my group twos heavily believe in things like divine timing and what is for you will be for you, that type of vibe. I do believe you're very proficient at visualizations. I think that's my group two strong point. However, the energies are letting you know that that way of thinking, group two, can get you in a lot of trouble if it hasn't already. It can put you in a space where you can be very easily manipulated or taken advantage of. It can put you in a space where you're too trusting of people who don't deserve your trust. It can put you in a dangerous position, it can put you in a sticky position, and it can also leave you feeling extremely, extremely discouraged. The energies are asking you to kind of reel it in a little bit. So even though you have your head in the clouds, which is beautiful because being slightly delusional, as they say, is actually a good thing at times, but there's also a time and a place. So the energies are asking you to kind of hone it in a little bit, to kind of reel it back, scale it down a little bit. And once you've got your visualizations down pat, they want you to keep your feet firmly planted on the ground so that you can also create a plan, a very realistic plan that will help you achieve those goals. Even though you're still working with the law of attraction, the main part of the law of attraction is the action portion of it. So although we know that the universe is conspiring with us to give us whatever it is we want in this life, we also have to understand that the universe wants you to do your part as well. So it's like a give and take. There has to be some kind of divine balance, reciprocity. It shouldn't just be you visualize it and the universe gives it unto you. Even if it's just, for example, your intention to do something, at least that is you moving towards putting something into action. My group twos, I feel like the energies are letting you know because of your inaction, you are actually blocking your intuitive gifts. My group twos, like I said at the beginning of the reading, you are extremely intuitive, you are extremely powerful spiritually speaking, but you can block yourself off because of the fact that you are relying too heavily on the universe taking it away and giving you exactly what it is you want. You also have to get up and decide to move in the direction of what it is you want. Just the intention of you perhaps even deciding to get up and go for a walk more often, or get a membership at the gym, or decide to change your eating habits to one that's a little bit more in line with what it is you would like to achieve with regards to your physique, then the universe will recognize the frequency at which you are vibrating and it will match that frequency. And in that way, you will be given the reward that you are desiring. So you have to make the first move and the universe will follow your lead. So group number 2, definitely continue to do your visualizations, do your meditations. Know that you are a very strong manifester. You are capable of becoming an even stronger manifester. Some of you may be even, like I said earlier, clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient. You could be, psychic. You could be mediums. This is what my group 2 is capable of. But you have to first not block yourself off from the possibilities, from the potential. And if your head is too far up in the clouds, then you're not going to be able to see what's going on around you. So you got to first ground yourself, group 2, to be able to be a little bit more of a realist so that you can welcome those wonderful gifts into your vortex. All right, so group number 2, we're going to go to the oracle cards. Okay, and we have imagine and envision. We have meditation for creativity and meditation to dig deep. So this is exactly what we were just talking about, your ability to, I think, again, my group 2s are extremely creative, especially when it comes to visualization, envisioning what it is you want. I think my group 2s can go very deep. Maybe even some of you are very proficient at lucid dreaming, and that comes very naturally to you. Maybe some of you are aware of the fact that you are very good at astral traveling when you're sleeping. The energies are asking you to continue on that same path. Don't deviate from the path of being very strong. They want you to continue to do that. Keep imagining, keep envisioning in a creative way to bring forth what it is you would like to experience in your life. However, they want you to ground yourself first. And I even mentioned it before. I said meditation is a good way for you to ground yourself, group 2, to bring you back to your center so that you are living, let's say, realistically enough. You become more of a realist, I suppose, or you're living realistically enough that you can go and put those things into place so that the universe can do the rest. You have to take action, group number 2, and the only way you're going to do that is if you come out of the clouds for a little bit, all right? But always know that you can rely on that ability to visualize and, imagine the life that you desire. That is a very powerful tool that you have with you, but it has to be done a certain way to bring about the life that you want to live. The cards here are letting you know meditation is an extremely powerful and effective way for my group 2s to ground themselves so that they can unlock the psychic gifts that they have to bring forth even more abundance than they could have even envisioned. Now, group 2, you are extremely creative when it comes to what it is you can envision, like the kind of future that you want. But if you unlock the spiritual side of yourself and stop blocking yourself off from, let's say, procrastination or stagnation, you will open up a whole new side of yourself, a whole new side of your life that you would have never imagined possible, not even you, as creative as you are. We're going to look at these last 2 cards here, which we have here. It says, if taking action toward our dreams before the perfect conditions arise or before we receive permission is unreasonable or reckless, then we must be unreasonable and reckless. So this is exactly it. Sorry guys, there's a snowstorm going outside my window, so if you hear the wind blowing, sorry, I'm trying to put some background music on here to drown it out so you don't get distracted or annoyed, so please bear with me. So this card is basically telling you, do something about it. Like, if you want to achieve something in your life, you must take action. The universe will follow your lead. You take 1 step towards your desire and your desire will take 10 steps towards you. So the intention is huge for my group 2s. Like, you could even look at the oracle card here, which says imagine and envision, and you have a castle, you have a unicorn, you have money, you have all these, even a little rat or something, a little mouse with wings, the 4-leaf clover, all these wonderful things that you can imagine. You see, they're honoring the fact and acknowledging the fact that you are very powerful when it comes to your mind. Some of you may even be artists, some of you may even be authors, writers, those types of creatives, but you are also spiritually creative. So they're asking you to get out of your own way, group 2, and start to create, but pull the creation out of the spiritual realm and ground it into the physical realm, because that's where you need it at this moment. And the last oracle card here we have is, we cannot timidly wait for everything to fall into our laps. We will receive only as we rise and march, for destiny turns its ear to those without fear. This is exactly what we've been saying, and it goes perfectly with the other oracle card. Don't wait timidly for everything to fall in your laps. Point blank, period. You need to take action. You need to step it up. You need to say that my dreams deserve to come to fruition. So I am going to do whatever it is I can, whatever is in my power to make them come to fruition. The universe will have to meet me halfway. It will come to pass because the intention is there. So group number 2, I think the whole reading is basically asking you to get out of your own way and stop blocking your gifts by your inaction or by being stagnant. Keep the ability to envision wonderful things into your life, but definitely get yourself moving. The universe wants to see it. The universe is just sitting waiting to match your energy. All right, group 2, that's all I have here for your reading. I hope something I said today resonated with you. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Until we see each other again, guys. Bye. All right, peace group 3. This is your reading. These are messages that you're meant to hear now from the energies. I don't specify who it is you're hearing from. That's up to you to decide who you resonate with the most. What I'm getting here first, group 3, is I feel like my group 3s have gotten to a place in their life. I don't know if it's as you're getting older, you're becoming more mature, but you've come to a place in your life where you're kind of letting go of situations and people that no longer serve you. Situations and people who are no longer the right fit for you. I think my group 3s are becoming a lot more picky and choosy with those who they allow into their circle. My group 3s may be the social butterflies of the reading, perhaps, and when you were younger, maybe a little more carefree, a little more flighty or footloose and fancy free. Perhaps that worked for you, that you had many different types of friends and you would go out, have a lot of people to talk to, and finding that chemistry and bonding with somebody, that deep chemistry wasn't really your priority. You wanted to have a good time and it served its purpose at that time in your life. However, it seems that a lot of my group 3s may be at a turning point in their life and it's causing them some kind of discomfort or confusion, because you're realizing that a lot of the friendships and the acquaintances and the circles that you used to run in, they no longer are a fit for you. It just feels off. Some of the time you just look at them and you think, I have absolutely nothing in common with you. Why am I even here? You're wasting my time. Or you get frustrated with them, or you just find them really annoying or boring. And other times it's not that extreme. Sometimes it's just like the interactions feel off, or even sometimes you could be thinking to yourself, there's so many other things I could be doing, but sitting here and Netflix and chilling with you, or just, wasting our time away talking up, gossiping about others, or participating in frivolous activities that lead you to nowhere. I think my group 3s are coming to a point where they're taking a hard look at themselves in the mirror and realizing that you are meant for bigger and better things, and this is not the type of life that you want to live for the rest of your life. That now is the time to kind of step it up a notch and let go and release certain friendships that are not necessarily hurting you, but they're not necessarily bettering you either. They're not really adding on to you. They're kind of perhaps holding you back and keeping you stuck in a type of vibration or frequency or lifestyle that is no longer a fit for you. I mean, that is something to be applauded. That's admirable, because that comes with growth, that comes with wisdom. But the issue with that is that it can be a painful experience, because letting go of people who are no longer a fit for you, it doesn't mean you don't like them anymore. It doesn't mean you hate them all the time. Sometimes you still have love for them, but you just know that sticking around them is going to do you more harm than anything. Or eventually it's just going to seem like the lifestyle that you are going to work towards, that you want to acquire, will not be a fit for those who are still living how you used to live. It just will be a mismatch, and it will cause issues further on down the line. So it's going to be somewhat of a painful process for group 3s to kind of let go of the people in their lives who just don't make the cut anymore and who are not going in the same direction as you are. You're not looking down on them, you're not hating on them, you're not holding a grudge against them. You're just realizing that, it's time to move on from that circle of friends, that relationship, even from some family members as well. In general, it's the way you used to live your life is not good enough for you anymore. Some of my group 3s may have gone through something so dramatic or extreme as even hitting rock bottom, just living life in a way that it just sickened you to a certain degree. Like, you just look at yourself in the mirror and think, how many more times am I going to do this? I am bored with this. I'm not happy. I'm not proud of the way I'm living. This is the point where you realize that something has to change, or else you will stay like this for the rest of your life. And that, to you, group 3s, is probably the scariest thing that you can imagine, staying stuck and stagnant in the same situation for the rest of your life. And some of my group 3s have also seen people who have done that and it scares the crap out of you. Or you've seen family members who have done that. They stayed with the same friends in the same town, doing the same thing, living the same lifestyle, thinking the same thoughts, never expanding their horizons, never growing past the fishbowl that they live in. And group threes have decided that that's not going to be them, and they will fight tooth and nail for what they believe in. And even if that means letting go of everybody that they used to partake in these types of activities with, they will do it because the goals that they have in mind are much bigger than where they are now. So group number 3, it's going to be somewhat of a tough journey for some of you to let go of the old way of doing things and welcoming in a new version of yourself. But the energies are asking you to proceed anyway. Keep going. Don't stop. And most importantly, don't look back. Some of my group 3s may even have to change locations, like move to another town or even to a new country. Some of my group 3s are going to have to stop certain habits, like drinking, like socially drinking, or smoking, or doing some drugs, or whatever, going to the club, or just sitting and not accomplishing anything. Some of my group 3s are going to have to really kick themselves into gear and say goodbye even to that 9 to 5 and take a risk on the new creative venture that they've always wanted to do. Like some of my group 3s may even start clothing lines or start their own business, things like that will help them kind of reinforce who they are and who they want to be. I do believe that my group 3s, if that is the case, that you are going to make the choice to kind of move and start afresh, the energies are letting you know that you will not regret it. It is something that will benefit you. It will be life-changing, and you will look back and you will say, thank God that I did what I did, or else I would still be back in that no man's land that I was living in for way too long. All right, group 3. So let's look at the oracle cards here. We've got personal power. It has a bear on it, and it says the crystal's name here on the side. Don't know how to say that, I don't think. It also says power animal on it, and it has the number 20. We have this card here that says soul awakening. We have the amethyst is the stone. We have the word medicine pouch, and we have the number 28. We have the card here that says reflection, and the stone, the crystal is rhodonite, and the season is winter, and the number is 22. So it seems to me that some of my group 3s, and this is very specific, but you may be making a big move. Like if you were to look back to when you made that major change, it would be in the winter of fill in the blank of a certain year. So it could say, for example, you could look back on when you made the change, or when it became apparent to you that you had to make a change, or when you hit your rock bottom, and you would say, in the winter of 2024 was when I hit rock bottom and I realized something had to change. Or you could say it was in the winter of 2026 when, that person said that thing to me and the light bulb just went on. So the change is going to hit you in winter. For some of my group 3s, that's a very specific message. But we're talking about things like soul awakening, personal power, and reflection. Group 3s, after you decide to take the plunge and make a big change for your own self, you are going to experience a period of deep reflection where you are going to examine yourself and look at your past and look at what you've done in your past and what you've liked, what you didn't like, what traumatized you, what hurt you. You're going to look at the times where you felt the most proud of yourself. You're going to use all of that knowledge, all of that information, and you're going to translate that into your own personal power. It's going to be an awakening for you. You're going to take everything that you felt that held you back in your past, for example, that hurt you, all of your bad habits, all of your addictions, all of those types of things, your faults, and you are going to switch those around. You are going to transform that into your personal power. You are going to let all of those weaknesses propel you onto the timeline of ultimate potential and the timeline of you receiving and achieving everything you want to. So group 3, you are definitely at a very important crossroads in your life, a point of, I would say, no return, because you've outgrown your old life. And now it's kind of scary moving forward because you feel like too small for all the big goals that you want to achieve in life. However, that is not the case. You are not too small. You just haven't opened up to your full potential. just yet. So be patient with yourself, give yourself time, do a lot of self-reflection, be kind to yourself, heal yourself. You have to go through a lot of healing processes as well. Do things like meditation, do things that make you feel good, that will add on to you, that show yourself how much you love yourself, like eating right, listening to good music that will help uplift you and make you dance and make you feel light in your spirit, speaking kind words to yourself, checking your thoughts, keeping yourself in check basically so you don't fall back into your old ways of doing things. It's going to be an intense time for my group 3s. It'll be something that not everybody will realize or recognize at the beginning because it will be very much an inner awakening. But eventually when you're ready to go public with everything and let everybody know, listen, okay, this is not good enough for me, I'm going to be making this change and this change, be prepared for the pushback. Group 3. So the only time that you should reveal to everybody exactly what your plans are and how you're feeling and what direction you're going to take, it has to be when you are confident enough in what you want to achieve and who you are. Otherwise, the opposition and the pushback and the humiliation that you might encounter from your old friends and families, relationship, it might cause you to abandon those wonderful goals that you have in mind because of the pressure that they put on you. So only reveal your plans to those around you when you are 100% confident in your plans and in your ability to achieve those plans. All right, the last 2 oracle cards we have here. Group number 3, this one says, we do not need to wait for perfect conditions. We will find perfection in progress. That's exactly what I was saying, group number 3. And we have this one here. There is a nobility to those who do not let neediness or desperation compromise who they are. So that's exactly what I was saying, group 3. Don't wait for the perfect condition. Just knowing that a situation is not good enough for you anymore is enough for you to decide that, okay, I'm letting go of this. This is enough for me. I want something better. I got to move on. I got to make a plan to move and take the next step away from that life. Don't wait for the perfect conditions because you have to be the one to create the conditions. The perfect conditions will not just appear in front of you. You have to make them. You have to plant the seeds to create the perfect conditions. And remind yourself that any negativity you encounter from any of the people from your old life who are trying to make you feel badly about wanting better for yourself, understand that that is a reflection of them. That is not a reflection of you. So don't take it to heart. Don't internalize whatever it is you encounter when you decide that you want better for your life. There will always be haters. There will always be negative Nancys. There will always be people who will be envious and hateful and jealous of you just because you want better for yourself. But the energies are asking you to keep moving anyway and don't look back. All right, group 3, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. That was your reading. I hope something I said today resonates with you, group 3. And until we see each other again, guys, bye.